So yeah, this is the find patterns problem. Initially you're given two strings that are s and w, so you need to find the number of times that w appears as a subsequence of the string s, where where every character of string s can be included at most one subsequence. Before thinking about the solution, you need to keep in your mind about this condition, because this is the main thing here. Let us understand this by taking a manual test case. So this is my string s and this is my string w. So what I will do, initially I'll take a I pointer on s and my j pointer on w. I pointer on s and j pointer on w. If the starting characters of both the strings are matching, if the starting characters of both the strings are matching, that means if my s of I equal to w of j, then what I will do, I'll take a temporary pointer. I'll take a temporary pointer which is standing on my current index, and I'll check from there. I'll check from that point of the subsequence. Then I'll just look the characters for the match. Now my s of t equal to my w of j, right? My string s character is matching with the w, so I'll move both the pointers. I'll move both the pointers since both the characters are matching. If the characters are not matched, I'll just increment my t. I'll just increment my temporary pointer. Okay. Now again my s of t is matching with w of j, and again I'll move both the pointers, and I'll again move both the pointers. Once if I have reached the end of the string, and again both the characters are matching, so I'll increment my t and I'll increment my j. So once if the characters are completed, once if the characters are in the w string are completed, I'm just having a count variable, and I'm incrementing my count, Now you need to notice that he has given us that every character of the string s can be included at most one subsequence. So what I will do, if I'm considering in my substring, I'll make it as visited. See, now uh, now my count is 1. I have visited these three characters. My count has become 1, and I visited these three characters. Now I'll increment my I pointer, and I'll see my I and jth characters are matching or not. If they are not matched, I'll just increment my I. And I can see here my both I and jth characters are matching, but I can't take this. Why I was not taking this? Because this b is already a part of the previous subsequence. So I can't take this. And I move my pointer to the next one, and I check this is a and this is b. Since these both are not matched, and I'll again increment my I pointer, and I'll check. And since these both characters are matching, what I'll do, I'll again take a temporary pointer, that is t. And if they are both are matching, I'll just increment both the pointers simultaneously. I'll just increment both the pointers simultaneously, and I'll make it as visited because I'm taking it into my subsequence, right? So I'll again check this both, and since these both are matching, I'll make it as visited, and I'll increment my t pointer, and I'll increment my j pointer, and I'll again see. And since these both two characters are matching, so what I'll do, I'll again move both the pointers to the next one, and I'll again see, and I'll make it as visited. And since all the characters in the W string are completed, we will increment our count. Now now we are now we are at this position, right? And now again we'll check at this position. Since the characters are not matched, we will again move to the next character. And since this both two characters are matched, you can't even look for the subsequence. Why? Because since it is already a previous part, or it is a previous part of another subsequence, right? So I'll take another example. That is like, if it is like BAA somewhat, uh I can take this manual test case, that is ABC. Yeah, I'll take some A. Mm, yeah, and your string W is, I think it'll be BA. Now what I'll do, I'll take a I pointer and I'll take my J pointer over here. Since this both the characters are not matched, I'll just increment my I pointer. And now since this both two characters are matching, I'll take a temporary pointer from that index. Now I'll check for the characters of the subsequence. Since my both characters are matching, I'll increment my t and I'll increment my j as well. And now again check, since this both characters are not matching, if it is matching, I'll increment my pointer and I'll make it as visited, right? Now I'm standing at C and A. Since this both characters are not matched, I'll again move to B and I'll check this B and A are matching or not. Since again these two characters are not matched, so what I'll do, I'll just increment my pointer to the next one, and I again see this both characters are matching. If these both characters are matching, I'll increment my t and I'll make it as visited, and I'll increment my t and I'll make it as visited, and then I'll increment my j as well. And once if all the characters in it are completed, I'll just incrementing my count to 1, and I'll just incrementing my count to 1. Now you need to get back to the initial position. Now you are standing at this position. You have visited these two strings. Now you'll move your I pointer to here and you'll check this both two characters are not matching. So again you'll move your I pointer to the next one, and since this both characters are matching, you'll take a temporary pointer from there, and again you'll repeat this process. Since this both characters are matched, you'll take this character into your subsequence, and you'll move your pointer to the next one. You'll move your pointer to the next one and you'll increment my j, and you again see that both of these two characters are matching here, but it is already previous part of some subsequence, so I can't take this. So I'll increment my t pointer to the next one, and I see this both characters are matching. Since this both two characters are matching, I'll again increment my t to the next one, and I'll increment my j to the next one. So then, since all the characters in my W is completed, I'll just increment my count to 2. I'll just increment my count to 2. So this is the main intuition behind this. So let us understand this, what I have done. So I have taken those string S and W string ST. Initially I have taken those sizes and I'm taking the count, and I'm taking this unordered map, which is indicating whether I have visited that index or not. It tells me like whether I have visited that index or not. So I will iterate for each of the character. When it is equaling when it gets equal to the first character of the W string, i'm just I'm just checking whether it is previously visited or not. I'm checking whether it is previously visited or not. If it is not visited, then I'm gonna take a temporary pointer, that is current index where I was standing at, and I'll take a j pointer which will be pointing to my w string, which will be pointing to my w string. And if any characters are matching, then I'll increment my both pointers simultaneously, and I'll make it as visited. And I'll make it as visited since I'm taking this as a subsequence into my count. Like if all the characters in the w string are over, you'll just increase your count, and you'll just break this, and you can simply return this count. So if you understand this, just please do comment and let me know.